Okay, in today's video I want to look at something a little more light-hearted. Now, it involves a anti-masker or a Karen on a breakfast show in Australia. So the Karen in this video is quite like the others. However, it's the breakfast show host who I think deserves a medal. Even the media, it seems, are getting tired of this nonsense. So for those of you who don't know, Karens tend to be people that are entitled or demanding beyond what's considered reasonable. They can be quite confrontational sometimes, and it's not unheard of for them to ask for a manager. Now, before we get started, I just want to say a quick thank you for watching, and also if you could like and subscribe, that'd be awesome. Right, let's check out the first part of the video.
Bunnings has been the target of yet another anti-mask crusade. Lizzie Rose from Melbourne posted her footage of a heated argument with staff over why she wasn't wearing a mask.
And I have a person accompanying me here. It's not a bogus piece of paper, it's a legitimate piece of paper. So the man is on the phone now to the police, he's calling the police. Despite the fact that I'm actually here shopping, I'm a paying customer. Remember, this is about your control, it's about your compliance, it's about silencing.
So right from the get-go we can see that there's nothing new about this Karen. So it's the same nonsense about controlling people and silencing them, all the while recording everything. You also notice how she says she's being asked to leave despite being a paying customer, because that's exactly the problem here. Alright, so next the host basically asks her why she won't wear a mask, and he mentions how people are losing loved ones. A reasonable request, I would say, to which she gives this lovely response.
For me, it's about choice, it's about personal choice, and my health comes first. And I also have an exemption from wearing a mask, and I noticed...
Well, I guess that settles it then. The safety of her and others is basically her choice, because who really cares about anybody else? So yeah, nothing new here, she's basically parroting everything anyone else has ever said.
You mentioned in your clip there that it was a heated argument at Bunnings. There was no heated argument at Bunnings at all. I was quite calm and within my rights to say what I said, and I only started filming to protect myself because of what happened when I was surrounded by staff in Bunnings.
So in this part of the video she claims she was calm and non-confrontational. However, she refused to stop for the staff member, but she won't comply with the store's orders to either put on a mask or leave, basically being a nuisance for the staff members and other customers who are already having a hard time with everything. So yeah, after this, the TV show host basically says to her that from the footage you could tell she was being quite antagonistic, to which the Karen basically responds with saying it was the staff members that were being antagonistic, even though they were just doing their job. Incidentally, I think it's important to note that if she was on the other side, she'd also be complaining about the staff members not doing enough. I also find it ironic how she's talking about having a medical exemption, despite being able to talk all the way through.
State that, and that's enough.
Do you think wearing a mask is a breach of your human right?
Yeah, I do, because this is my voice, and this is about an agenda. It's not just about a virus, and despite the virus, in my opinion, yes, being very real, I've never said it's not real, it was orchestrated, and the amount of effect that it's had, it is not true. The statistics aren't true. Florida just released that 90,000 cases were misdiagnosed, and they've reduced their accuracy down to 11,000 cases. That's just one example. You had somebody on A Current Affair last night say they had a positive, then negative, then positive test. Yeah. The numbers are not true, and despite, the virus being, I believe, biochemically engineered, intentionally, and
so she basically goes on about how it's her voice and some other nonsense. She talks about some sort of agenda and a bioengineered virus. I think the TV host Sai basically sums it all up. I think it's fair to say she spent way too much time on Facebook and not enough time in school. So yeah, after this she basically goes on to say how she's actually worn a mask before on a few occasions, and the reason she did it was to prove a point, which essentially means she was willing to wear a mask if it made her feel good, but when it came to the safety of herself and other people, she had a problem with it.
The elderly, can I just ask you, Lizzie, do the elderly in aged care homes, now 700 of them affected with COVID, do they have a choice? The answer is no.
Is it COVID?
Yes.
Is it COVID? How do you know it's COVID?
Medical test.
Why is it that everybody that is dying this year in 2020
What was your medical degree again?
Death?
Sorry?
I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, but I worked as a medic, okay? And I did, obviously, quite a while ago, not when COVID was around.
When did you work as a medic?
But I'm telling you right now, the statistics are wrong.
When did you work as a medic?
Last time was about 4 years ago.
Because I've got here that you're a professional
it was about 4 years
psychic.
ago last time.
Are you a medic or a psychic?
Yes, yeah, I've been a professional psychic, a working psychic since I was 9 years old.
I mean, I don't even know what to say, to be honest. I mean, she's really hit a home run with all of these conspiracies.
I started psychic readings and for the public from the age of 12 to 13.
I think the issue is you deliberately went into that place. You deliberately went into that place to antagonise workers who are literally just trying to do their bit for the country right now, trying to protect other people from passing on this killer virus, which is what it is. You have and espouse all these weird, wacko beliefs, and unfortunately there are people out there who are going to believe you and who are going to side with you, and that's just irresponsible in the current climate. It's just irresponsible. You know what? I can't even listen to you anymore. I'm so sorry.
Can I just put it to you, Carl?
I can't even listen to you.
I can't put it to you. You can't listen to me.
Nah.
I have a medical exemption.
Thank you, Carl. I mean, I'm surprised he managed it that long. So yeah, at this point, Carl's given up, and I assume most people watching as well. I have to give him props for making it this long. I probably would have cut her off much earlier. I love the little no he says just before he cuts her off. It's a fitting vocalization of the frustration felt when dealing with someone like this. And he's also right about the fact that it's irresponsible to have someone like this on such a large platform, especially when there are a lot of people out there who will think what she's saying is the truth. In the remainder of the video, he apologises and is visibly shaken up by the whole experience. This is more than understandable given the situation currently. With isolation, people's loved ones dying, the economy in freefall, and more. Yet she only seems to care about some conspiracy she's found on Facebook. But the lack of consideration or due thought for anyone besides herself is obviously characteristic of such a person. She isn't unique, despite what she thinks, but what she's saying can present itself as harm. There isn't really much more to say at this point. I mean, this is exactly the sort of person who, if you saw on the side of the road, you'd give him a wide berth. So I think this is everything I have to say for this video. If you guys have enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.